Hello there, how's it going? My name is June, and in this video we will look at conclusion of the book Atomic Habit. So we completed all 20 chapters. Let me scroll to the bottom and show you. And at the end we have two sections called conclusion and little lessons from the four laws. I really like those sections, so I'm going to talk about them. So let's begin. The chapter began with this idea of Sorites paradox, which is this is one example of Sorites paradox. So can I make it full screen? Let's see. This is one idea of Sorites paradox. It says a small change doesn't make any difference, but when we consistently make changes, at we get a huge difference. Now it sounds very simple in the first glance, and it is, but if you think about it, that's how real change begins. No matter how many small changes you make, if you compare yourself from yesterday, you will see no difference, and you can keep on going. The color is the same everywhere. But when we keep making the exact same small change over and over and over, we see a huge difference from green to red. Now that's why small small habits are so powerful. They could be either positive and negative. They can either completely change your life for good or completely change your life for bad. And here's one more example of it. Can one coin make a person rich? If you give a person a pile of 10 coins, you wouldn't claim that he or she is rich. But what if you add another, and another, and another? At some point, you will have to admit that no one can be rich unless one coin can make him or her so. Very powerful idea. If you consistently make a small change, you will reach a very different place. Like this gradient of colors. If you keep changing the color very slightly, you will reach at a very different place. We can say the same about atomic habits. Can one tiny change transform your life? It's unlikely you would say so, but what if you made another, and another, and another? At some point, you'll have to admit that your life was transformed by one small change. Exactly. It starts with one small change. Our transformation begins with one small change, and if we keep making one small change every day, you would never know where you are 5 years in the future. The idea is to make small changes, but to be consistent with them. That's the part people forget. Well, a small change will not change my life. Well, you have to be consistent, and that's easier. One big step will, if you are not consistent, will not bring you result, but one small step consistently is not will not only bring result, but is much easier and sustainable. So commitment to 1% improvement. Let's read about it. The holy grail of atomic habits. The holy grail of habit change is not a single 1% improvement, but a thousand of them. It's a bunch of atomic habits stacking up. Each one is a fundamental unit of the overall system. In the beginning, small improvements can often feel meaningless because they get washed away by the weight of the system. Just as one coin won't make you rich, one positive change like meditating for 1 minute or reading one page each day is unlikely to deliver a noticeable difference. Yes, this is atomic habit, reading one page each day. Now you won't see the results, but the point is not the result. The point is the direction, as the author said. You have to do it every day. Do it for an year, for 2 years, and see where it takes you. And not just read one page. Add more small changes to your life, just like this one. Gradually, though, as you continue to layer small changes on top of one another, the scales of life start to move. Each improvement is like adding a grain of sand. It's like adding a grain of sand to the positive side of the scale, slowly tilting things in your favor. Eventually, if you stick with it, you hit a tipping point. Suddenly, it feels easier to stick with good habits. The weight of the system is working for you rather than against you. Over the course of the book, we have looked at dozens of stories about top performers. We have heard about Olympic gold medalists and award-winning artists, business leaders, life-saving physicians, and star comedians who have all used the science of small habits to master their craft and vault to the top of their field. Well, I really like this part. This is not just some scientific literature. This book is not just some scientific literature. This is real thing. The top performers, Olympic gold medalists, and so on, they came in this world just like us. They have the same brain as us, and if they can utilize the ideas from this book, we can as well. Each of the people, teams, and companies we have covered has faced different circumstances but ultimately progressed in the same way through a commitment to tiny, sustainable, unrelenting improvements. Tiny but sustainable, unrelenting improvements. Success is not a goal to reach or a finish line to cross. Very good idea. It is a system to improve, an endless process to refine. In chapter 1, I said if you are having trouble changing your habits, the problem isn't you, the problem is your system. Bad habits repeat themselves. Bad habits repeat themselves again and again, not because you don't want to change, but because you have the wrong system for change. As as this book draws to a close, I hope the opposite is true. Yeah, I hope the opposite is true. Not because it's not because oh, so he's saying after you read the book, before he said that before he said that the problem isn't you, right? The problem isn't you. Now, if you have read the book and your life hasn't improved yet, well, now the problem is actually you. Now the problem is you. If your life is not changing and you have read the book, now the reason is that you don't want your life to change. With the 4 laws of behavior change, you have a set of tools and strategies that you can use to build better systems and shape better habits. Sometimes a habit will be hard to remember and you will have to make it obvious. Other times you won't feel like starting and and you will have to make it attractive. In many cases, you may find a habit will be too difficult and you will need to make it easy. And sometimes you won't feel like sticking with it and you will need to make it satisfying. This is a continuous process. There is no finish line to cross. Again, there is no finish line. You have to commit yourself to lifelong improvement, a small, tiny, sustainable improvement. There is no finish line. Life is not a movie, it doesn't just end in an instant. There is no permanent solution. Whenever you are looking to improve, you can rotate through the 4 laws of behavior change until you find the next bottleneck. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying, round and round. Always looking for the next way to get 1% better. Now, I read most of it and it was self-explanatory, that's why I didn't comment on it. But let's read the last paragraph. The secret to getting results that last is to never stop making improvements. Never. The key word is never. Never. There is no finish line. You have to really change your mindset, your paradigm shift. The idea of never. There is no finish line. As I said, you don't just lose weight and be fit for the rest of your life. You don't just get a good job and be successful for the rest of your life. This is an ongoing process. It's remarkable what you can build if you just don't stop. It's remarkable the business you can build if you don't just stop working. It's remarkable the body you can build if you don't stop training. It's remarkable the knowledge you can build if you don't stop learning. It's remarkable the fortune you can build if you don't stop saving. It's remarkable the friendship you can build if you don't stop caring. Small habits don't add up, they compound. Very powerful idea, they compound. So the more you do them, the result you get will increase. It will not be linear. That's the power of atomic habits. Tiny changes, remarkable results. So that's how the book ends. Very good way to end the book. However, there is still one more section, little lessons from the 4 laws, that I will cover in the next video. So thank you very much. Bye bye.